All right, good morning, everybody. Joe Van Duren here, and welcome to our Virtues Pick. Well, let's make that adjustment there. And run a little bit late this morning, but nonetheless, we're here. We had a lot of phone calls and stuff going on. But we have a great word today, and one that we appreciate a great deal. And that virtue that's came up for us today was wisdom. We all wish that everyone making decisions that affect us is using their virtue of wisdom, right? So let's read the description and see how that goes. Wisdom is the guardian of our choices. It helps us to discern the right path at the right moment. It gives us clarity of thought and deeper understanding. We use our best judgment, resisting the pull of impulse and desire. Wisdom gives us the maturity and patience to make sustainable decisions. We seek knowledge, enter reflection, and open ourselves to inspiration. We consider carefully, then act confidently. Wisdom takes us beyond thought to a deeper knowing. Wisdom grounds us in grace. So there's so much that I was thinking about as I was reading this, but honestly, the first thing that came to my mind that's about me personally is this idea of resisting these distracting impulses. So there are so many things that we can be interested in and that can draw our attention. And it's not that they're not important things, or they're not interesting, or they're not something that would be fun to do, or whatever, but they distract us from things that we have decided that we're going to do. And so this is where clarity comes in, and being very, very clear. So about what we want and how we want to do things, and what we want to accomplish and how we want to be known. And when we're discerning these choices, then that's when we need to exercise this virtue of wisdom. And I think about it from the viewpoint of, as a family, we have to look at things from different standpoints, and we have to take into account the feelings and needs of others. We have to take into account age and development level, and emotional development level, physical development level, and all those things come into play when we're making decisions and choices about life things. But in the end, what we really need is to be very, very clear about what's important to us, so that we can make judgments and judgment calls and act in ways that bring us closer and closer to meeting the vision and mission and goals that we have as a family, as an individual, as a business. It doesn't matter. All of those things come into play there. And so, this is really what wisdom is all about. It's taking that time, but beginning with that place where we are very clear about what's important to us. And the decision that we might make in this circumstance with this person may be different than what we would do in a different circumstance where there was different things that come in. So it's that using also that virtue of discernment that is necessary when we're making decisions. I also appreciated this idea in the very last sentence that wisdom grounds us in grace. And, I truly believe that if we take the time for medication, if we take the time for meditation, maybe medication too, I don't know, but meditation for sure. If we take the time to reflect and to, as it puts it in the description, open ourselves to inspiration, we will find that the universe will bring answers to us. And sometimes the answers aren't what we want. Sometimes we know something is right, and we still resist that and go the other way because it's not what we want. But, that's where wisdom comes in. The clarity a reflection and listening to our inner voice, listening to our inner self, listening to the universe, really getting grounded in that grace that we speak of here. So, what a great virtue. And don't we wish that everyone who does anything that has any effect on us would use it more fully? I think that's the best way to put it, right? We want to use our best judgment. And just think of it this way, too. I was thinking as a family how important it is for us to use our best judgment. And then once we've made a decision, not to second guess ourselves, because that brings about a certain amount of resistance to it, both on a personal level and from a universe level. And so once we make a decision and we go that direction, then stick with it until we've had an opportunity to really evaluate whether it was successful or not. That's all part of using the knowledge and experience that we have to make good decisions. How do we teach our kids? I use that word again, and I've got to get away from this, because we're not teaching our kids anything. We're developing in them. We're bringing out of them all of the virtues. And we need to do the same thing with wisdom. Wisdom is something that's personal. It's inside of us. It's a virtue just like all of the rest of them, and that require that we're open to the knowledge that's around us. We're open to what the universe has to say for us. We're open to our own feelings, and that's how we know whether we're doing something that is in agreement with our inner self, is how we feel. And so the same thing is true with our kids. And so I'm just going to suggest that, especially with our children, that for them to find the wisdom that they need to make the choices that are going to be best for them and their own unique personality and talents and skills and temperament and all of those things, the things that are best for them, the only way that we can really help them call on that wisdom and not just be influenced by everything and everyone and every piece of media and every peer group and all the other things, social media and such, that influences all of us. The only way we can do that is by listening and by practicing. It's actually the fifth strategy in the 5 strategies of the Virtues Project, and that is companion. We need to companion our kids versus just telling them what to do. And that's a whole way of listening. It's a whole way of speaking. It's a way of communicating. And it is, in fact, the second C, the second C of our 4 C's, and that is communication. When we companion, we are not there trying to fix anything. We're not there to change the person. We're not there to tell them what to do. We're there to draw out of them their own wisdom. And, I can just tell you that from a parenting point of view, it works. And we keep our relationship strong. And learning to do this will protect your child because they will not be making decisions based on outside influences, but they'll make their decisions and choices from their inside, their inner being, and it will be so much better for them. So we could talk a long time about wisdom because it's such a great virtue, but for right now we're going to go and focus on this, focus on being very clear, focus on reflection, focus on making decisions in a way and in a manner that is best for each of us individually. And so that's how we're going to do that. So thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Please think about liking the video on YouTube, sharing it with others, and following us there. And until next time, keep practicing the virtues and the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time, bye.